fuck out, you know. See man, them man not take on work, you know. Look how much bumbo clad Chinese. Me not see no black man there to work, brother. Look here. Look how much Chinese I work. I don't get fucked.
What's up guys, welcome back to this channel once again. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like and also comment. So guys, in today's video is about Chinese, because mostly Jamaicans complain about their country being taken over by the foreigners, and those foreigners mostly are Chinese, because when you go to Jamaica, most of the big businesses are run by Chinese. So in today's video is a combination of videos about Chinese are being forced to leave Jamaica, because most of Jamaicans they have come out and they want Chinese to leave their country. So let's watch this video until the end, then I'll come back with the more comment. Full credit goes to original creators of this video.
Jamaicans aren't only being pushed out of their beaches, but gradually they're being pushed out of business. Check this out.
Chinese mechanics in Jamaica should go 20-30 cars a day like clockwork, while Jamaican mechanics, they carry around stuck in the garage sometime for a whole week. But how did the Chinese get here? How did they set up shop so fast right in front of our eyes? Listen, foreigners are coming in, buying land, running businesses, owning Jamaica, and we're becoming visitors in our own land. Just like some places in Africa where people now work for foreigners in their own country. Sooner or later, the Chinese going to control the parts distribution and shut us out.
I already think it's too late for Jamaicans. And the reason why I say that, because back in 2015, Jamaica signed an agreement with China, allowing China to control one of their biggest and most important ports for 30 years. And that's the port of Kingston. So China dictates what goes into Jamaica and what goes out of Jamaica. So I'm pretty sure all these Chinese business owners already have a connection with distributors in China. So they have direct contact with the distributors when it comes to supplies and keeping their stores in stock. So as you gradually see Chinese businesses pop up, you see less Jamaican businesses. So Jamaicans are gradually becoming workers for foreigners. And who allows another country to control your ports, allow what comes in and outside of your country? Like I said, it's already a wrap, at least for 30 years.
I don't know how difficult it is for you, but I actually can focus on more than one thing at the same time. I can express my concern for what these black capitalists are doing in the country in which I live. And I can also focus on what is happening with a so-called Chinese takeover in Jamaica. I can focus on those two things at the same time. With that being said, from the discourse that I've seen online, not a lot of Jamaicans are focused on this so-called Chinese takeover. Sure, people whisper, but whenever I speak or when other creators speak out and say, we should have some grace for Haitian refugees who are seeking asylum in Jamaica, and we should have some grace for people who are suffering in Jamaica, and we should be careful of how we are allowing foreign capitalists to come and take over certain industries. It's the same Jamaicans at home who are attacking us. It's the same Jamaicans at home who are telling us to mind our business. I also believe that there are bigger issues at play. And one of those issues is the way in which Jamaicans, especially those at home, have been conditioned that certain things are the way they are and should stay the way they are. It's the way how Jamaicans at home have been conditioned to believe that certain people belong in certain tier, and that is why I have seen a surprising number of people to me who are very unconcerned and very supportive of this takeover that you speak of, which is why I'm leaving it alone. I thought about making a video about it, but I'm leaving it alone, because the last time I spoke up on here about how certain people were basically trivializing our black culture and trying to whitewash our culture on this here platform, it was Jamaicans, many black Jamaicans, who came to their defense against me. So I have learned my lesson, and I'm going to leave you all to deal with that takeover. While I can, acknowledge that there are certain things that I am uncomfortable with. For the most part, I'm going to leave the Jamaicans to figure this one out.
See if you come in a wholesale and you can't read, that's alright. Me help you. Right? But you see if you can't read and you go on like you can read, at them time there you look like fool. Let me give you an example with the things that me have to deal with at the time. One lady come in here and ask me the germs lotion. Germs lotion. And then when me ask her, germs lotion, miss? I don't know, germs lotion, that one there up there, so. I don't have no problem when people dance, you know. But how you fit dance and have attitude with it? And that me not get. How? That don't make no sense.
Jamaican shopkeeper, bar owner, and party promoter, uno a overcharge on the one black people them. And if you stop blaming it on other people, uno are the cause and enough of the poverty we are going to Jamaica. And boom, check this. I'm going to show my people them how to stay. Look on a Moscato when you go to Mr. Chin and buy. How much you pay for a back of Moscato? Tell me, $2,200. And you keep on like a party, you want promotion and you want help, you want my strength. And you gotta sell me back that the one bottle for $7,000. What kind of strength you want? All of my strength you need. That, bro, them thing they're wrong. You gotta tell me, say, you run one liquor shop and you go to the Chinese and you buy one case of things. The Chinese say $240 for the case of things. 24 coming out, that means one item at $10. And you come back in the ghetto, in the countryside, and who stay by yourself and I sell one item for $45, $35 per one simple item. And when we realize with Jamaican, we don't believe in a small profit and quick sale. Everything we do, want a big arm and a leg. And if we cut it out, and we are carrying down one brother and sister, one bottle of rum, $3,000, 24 drink coming out, and you want to sell all one drink of rum for $250, one special for $350. I don't expect people to survive. I'm not going to say government this. If government set it that the Chinaman can the goods them reasonable, that means you can make money pan it same way. But guess what I'm telling you now? You not look on that. Because someone have one business and you want to do everything out of it. That's wrong. You can't do everything out of your business. Get aside hustle up your shop now, work and stop overcharge the people them. Bar owner, you stop it. Party promoter, stop it. Shopkeeper, stop it. You cannot even buy all one bulla Jamaica. To it there. Everybody know, say them buy the bulla from the bakery, truck come. And by the time the truck man give you the bulla like so, $100 go on it. By the time the truck man do like so, boom and give you the bulla. I mean say, yo, mama, sell me one bulla, $100 upon it. You know a pata cat. The new name, a pata cat for you. All of you know a pata cat and you know a cat on your own black brother and sister. Stop selling things them so dear when you know buy so cheap. Small profit, quick sale. And at that me say, uno, cha-cha.
Something really wrong is going on in Kingston and St. Andrew. There is a set of people that don't care about community building, that don't care about families, that don't care about community, and they only care about making money. If you haven't been to Kingston and St. Andrew in a while, you can't be in a one street and you don't see one apartment building. Now, some of these apartment buildings are well positioned. Some of them make sense, right? The corporate area and all them thing there. But when you spread out a little bit out and you go into the communities them, when you see mom and pop home with them little backyard and thing, and right beside them yard is one tall rotted building that don't make no sense. The people them they upstairs looking at you downstairs hanging your panty on the clothesline. Between you, one big building sandwiched in the middle of two homes, of two family homes. So now imagine me now having a beautiful day today. As me leave me yard, what that me see right beside my gate? What is that me see right beside my gate? One sign that say intention to build apartment units. Now, if you don't know me or if you don't follow me, if you never watch my video them, please go watch them. Me live in the bush. Me live in some hill bush. Me live in the bush. This empty lot is between me and my two neighbors. So this apartment building would be sandwiched between 3 family homes which privacy will be completely destroyed, which there is no road to go up there, so because don't see me take cooking oil go try fix up the road there. Them want carry people go up there in an apartment and the place don't have no road. There's no road go up there. The place far up in the hills. Which apartment gonna keep up there, so right? Now you tell me now, why will you want to disturb? First of all, come in and cut off the wall of the trees them. Deforest the place. The birds didn't know what to do with themselves. And now come in with sign that say I put up apartment building in a little tiny, because I want a tiny lot in the middle of the bush, sandwiched in between 2 family homes. I don't care if people are going to go up this or not. I don't care if it has a good point of sale or not. All I care about is the fact that Uno are destroying Jamaica. Uno are destroying Jamaican communities. Uno are destroying Jamaican communities. Because even sometimes when Uno don't get the old dilapidated house to buy and tear it down and put Uno dot in thinking apartment mashes box in the sky, so all Uno do a scam people with a little mashes box in the sky. It's not, and I'm not talking about this because it born me and it affect me now. I have spoken about this plenty of time before, because there's a place for everything. And bush sandwich between 2 family home, 3 family home is not a place for an apartment building. To all the contractors out there, I'm not saying to stop doing business. I am saying to do consciously, respectfully, with ethic. You don't need to have ethic. There is a place for everything. A community, a neighborhood is not a place for an apartment complex. Uno sick in uno head. You see the place where I show that where they white bones in a Constant Spring? Uno can put apartment building there, so there's no family home. It's a commercial place. Uno very well uno put an apartment building over there, so you understand what I say? A community, a street where kids play in the street and families jog out there and cows roam around the place. It's not the place for an apartment building. Don't be so greedy. Why you want to be so unethical? And build a skyscraper to sell matches boxing at the skies, which by the way most likely are going to just sit down there, sir, because there is a overstock in a town. Me don't know who. If people know I buy it down, yes, on a Kingston 6, Kingston 8, Kingston 10, who is going to go buy apartment in the bush? Just have a little conscience, please. And for those of you who are not contractors, whenever you can, please raise your voice. Please raise your voice, because these buildings, these apartment buildings, are destroying communities, families. They are pricing out families. A family that could have purchased that land to be their family home were priced out by a developer. Thank you so much for watching. Love.
We suffer every day. Can you imagine? We have been here for centuries and we're still lagging around. If we to start a business in Jamaica, it's one of the hardest things to start a business. while the Chinaman come from China, come to Jamaica, start a business, non-tax for 5 years. And by the time the 5 years come when him to start pay tax, he making cousin and he never and he uncle come and him gone. So and listen, this have been happening for centuries. So this have nothing to do with PNP or JLP. And you know at the end of the day, none of them no want to fix it because all of them want us to the black man.
I don't like the way in which the Jamaican government has allowed the Chinese to come in and take over. I believe they own the major port there. I believe that the Jamaican government has given them lands in exchange for services. I believe they built at least one hospital there, a couple of schools. They had constructed a north-south highway or northwest highway that connects one part of the island to the other, so you don't have to drive all the way around to get there, which was necessary. But from what I read, in exchange for them building the highway, the Jamaican government has allowed them to keep, I believe, nearly all of the toll fees on that highway for a certain amount of years. We're giving up too much to get too little. And what bothers me the most about Jamaica, they are the most Pan-Africanist and the most unapologetic of the Caribbean islands. And so if China can take Jamaica, taking the rest of the Caribbean won't be that difficult.
Breeze. I have a question for Andrew Holness, Kamina J. Smith, and Dr. R.S. Chang. As a Jamaican, I'm really concerned, and I just want to express myself, and maybe other Jamaicans feel the same way. In Jamaica, we have over 76,000 Chinese living there, whether they are Chinese descendants or recently migrated to Jamaica, right? Boom. Chinese are able to work in our country, have businesses for over 5 years without paying taxes, while Jamaican people or Jamaican new entrepreneurs who start businesses have to pay taxes off rip. First of all, they can't even get funding to start a business, much less. Now, what the Chinese them do is once reach 5 years, they just call down another family member and put the business in their name, and the process continues and they don't pay taxes, right? But that's not really why I'm here. I'm here because I realize that even as Jamaicans, we need a visa to go to China. But check this out. Chinese don't need a visa to come to Jamaica. That is unfair. To me, that's all ridiculous. You know how much Jamaicans would love to go to China for whatever reasons, whether short stay, business, or pleasure. Like, there gotta be some type of renegotiation. This is 2025, not 1865. So Andrew Holness, Dr. R.S. Chang, and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kamina J. Smith, my namesake, please, may I beg you, look into this. Think about it as a politician. Me and have the education I have, you know. Zane, me don't know a doctor and them thing. I'm just a regular Jamaican. We have sense and common sense. So, Uno tell me the scholars, if that makes sense. Uno really need to do something about that. Do something about all of these countries where can come to our country and all these things and all get all these easy access to things. But Jamaicans have to struggle so much. Enough fear. Do something about that. Me I beg you now, please.
Me say the good go and suffer for the bad. Any day they ever build a Chinese construction company in a Jamaica, yeah, for local people like we can go there, go get Chinese mason and tiler and painter and welding, man. You see? I done everything done. So all I know, mason man, we go around and thief people money and start them work. Some of you come and just barely do one little thing and charge you whole heap of money and pay the people them and tell the people them say, you sick and this and that and you want money for medication, right? And some of you charge the people them a arm and a leg. Some of you bill one little 2-bedroom house. Some of you charge 6 million, 8 million, right? Me say, any day Chinese bumbo clot. Me have to cuss bad word. Any day never be like Chinese construction company in a Jamaica. You see? I you see them shipping them bumbo clad mason man them. You see? And then Tyler in a Jamaica yard. Done everything done. Una forgot go look work from them. That me I tell you.
So everyone has been asking how the Chinese mechanics got into Jamaica. Well, here are the facts. Did you know that in 2015, Jamaica signed over the Kingston Freeport, our main port, our lifeline to China, who has full control for 30 years? Now they control what comes in and they control what goes out. That's why the Chinese mechanics and other companies move the way they want. No one to answer to. No real checks. No oversight. They run the port, they hold the gate. Why do you think it's after the fact Pika stepped in? Because they don't even know what's going on. But somebody know. Because when it comes to these little things, don't think you can think on the same level you were programmed to think on. You have to change your frequency sometimes. And we're standing on the outside of our own house. We can't even act like we never know. Listen, we will never get out of slavery. Because a nation that can't even control its own port is a nation already conquered. Just without the change.
This person said biggest Jamaican population live outside Jamaica. Yeah, Jamaican diaspora bigger than Jamaican national population, of course. But Jamaican national do not live outside Jamaica more than Jamaica. That's false. So that's what you're actually saying. But the right word to use is saying Jamaican diaspora is more populated than Jamaica. And the reason why the diaspora is more populated than Jamaica is because every girl wants a Jamaican. Every girl wants a Jamaican, so Jamaican men find themselves like a dozen women, and out of the dozen women, at least 9 of them get pregnant. Sometimes 11. Yeah. So that's the reason why the diaspora is so big. Because the population of Jamaican is lower. So the girls them have to share the Jamaicans them. So Jamaican find themselves have to do polygamy and all that. Not all of them do. Some of them do not do polygamy, but yeah, many Jamaicans find themselves having dozens of girls. You see what I'm saying? Next thing again, you said Chinese own all business in Jamaica. False. Chinese own business, of course, but not all business. In Jamaica, a lot of Jamaican own business. No matter if Jamaican have the world record for woman own business. In Jamaica, women have power just like man. Women own a lot of business in Jamaica, not like your country. It's not the same. The Chinese business in Jamaica is basically mostly clothes and mostly stuff that imported from China. And you know that stuff is stuff imported from somewhere. The person who from there know how to get it the cheapest. So the Chinese can get stuff cheaper. So they get these things cheaper and sell it to Jamaicans. And they are a big competition to Jamaican business in itself, of course. But we're not going there. Let's move on. You say all beaches in you say all beaches in Jamaica owned by Caucasian. That's false. Also, Caucasian that own resorts and beaches. No, that's own resort in Jamaica. Actually, Jamaican. For example, the person that owns Sandals, the family that owns Sandals Hotel is a Caucasian Jamaican family. He then goes to say, after that he goes to say, many beaches in Jamaica, you can access it without have to go in through a hotel or anything like that. We just exaggerate that they're taking away many beaches. We exaggerate because we want to stop them from taking away our beaches. Alright? Jamaica get more visitors per year than the population that live there. So people from all over the world trying to get a hotel in Jamaica so to do business. So it's hard for the government if they love money government to not take many of these investments. It's hard because they're benefiting from tax and all that. It's hard for them not to take many of these investments. That's why they're selling our beaches land, the land that close to the beaches. Anyway, you go on to say Jamaica, most Jamaicans live below the poverty line. Poverty line in Jamaica or below poverty line in Jamaica just mean you don't have an income. That's all it means in Jamaica. It's not like where you from or many parts of the world where poverty line mean you hungry and you homeless and you're dying from malnutrition and all that. No, it's not like that. It's definitely not like that. No one in Jamaica die from that unless they want to die from it.
and there is no one that wanna die from it because there is no news of no one die from it. So anyway, Jamaica is a place that if you don't have an income, you will never hungry. If you have income, it's even better. Jamaica is a place that if you don't have an income, you have somewhere to stay. The homeless in Jamaica is more, many of them are mentally ill. Like they wanna be out there, wanna be homeless. Just like many places, people just wanna be homeless. People choose to be homeless. Those people are mentally ill. Also, in Jamaica is like you have a lot of stuff. Especially living in the countryside, you have Jamaica land is more fertile than many parts of the world. And Jamaica, you can grow things any time of the year. So in Jamaica, you always have food. You have several different fruits in every season of the year. For example, for the season for mango, for example, you have from the ending of April straight to August. You have season for stuff like Guinea, and at the same time you have season for stuff like what they call it again, for apple and all at the same time. So all these three things they're eating at the same time. Also, when these things are in season, you can eat it without cook. You don't have to cook. And next thing, you see Jamaica is a place where water is everywhere. You do not need to pay any water bill if you're in Jamaica. Unless you're in the city area, you might have to pay. You might. If it's a dry weather season, you might, the spring might stop. But you can always go to the spring and get water. And river is all over Jamaica. You know what Jamaica mean? Jamaica mean land of wood and water, alright? So water, you might not have running water many places, but they have water. You get it? Alright, you have rain. It's not illegal to catch any rainwater in Jamaica. Jamaica is not a desert. But sometimes you have dry weather. Dry weather in Jamaica is not like 6 months, no rain. Yeah. Dry weather in Jamaica is like 2 months without rain. That's dry weather in Jamaica. Many places dry weather is like 1 year without rain, 2 years without. No, Jamaica is not like that. And next thing again, it goes on to say Jamaican education system. Jamaican education system is do not really beneficial to many Jamaicans because many Jamaicans educated and do not have the chance to use that education. And many Jamaicans who do not really educated be the biggest influencers and be the biggest money makers. For example, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey do all what he did with just an 8th grade education. Marcus Garvey dropped out of school at 8th grade. 8th grade. Marcus Garvey stopped school at junior high school. This is not an excuse not to go to school. I'm just saying, this is not an excuse not to go to school or do school or anything. Alright? So it's not like, Jamaica is not like other countries where when people don't drop out of school, they're illiterate and fool and do not make any sense and cannot comprehend and cannot do this and cannot do. No, Jamaica is not like that. Even the person who cannot read in Jamaica, their intelligence is very high. Even the people who cannot do certain things that you need to go to school to do, many Jamaicans can do it. Many Jamaicans do not go to school to do many things that they're doing. Like for example, construction and all that. Many Jamaicans do professional level construction without going to school for it. So I'm telling you these things because I know it. You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying and what image you have of Jamaica is actually false. I do not know if you're exaggerating, but if you're exaggerating, you should make it sound like you're exaggerating at least. But anyway, Jamaica is nice and everybody wanna visit Jamaica. Jamaica have more visitors per year than the people that's there. And they are real visitors. I'm not talking visitors like Bahamas where a boat is just passing through and they count them as visitors. No, Jamaica have real visitors. Millions. 3 million visitors per year. That is it.
Welcome back. I hope you have watched the full clip how really Chinese are taking over Jamaica, because mostly Jamaicans, they have been complaining about their foreigners taking over their country, and Jamaica being the most unloved country, Chinese are taking over their country, and this is the message that has been spreading online across all over the platform, that Chinese are really taking over Jamaica, and that's made so many people came out in large numbers that they want to reclaim their country, and this made most of Chinese, they have now forced to leave Jamaica, because you cannot leave a country that is, you are not safe. That is how really what is happening in Jamaica, because when you go to Jamaica, you will find so many these big businesses are being owned by Chinese, like the supermarket, like these big hotels, like even when you go to the beaches, those beaches are being owned by Chinese. Any construction, when you go to even the mechanics, is being owned by Chinese. But investors coming to your country, it's about the development, but these Chinese, they have come out and they want to overrule the Jamaicans, because when you go to employment, most of the employee are Chinese. They are not employing the Jamaicans, and that's why people, they don't want Chinese in Jamaica. And another thing is making Jamaicans to be known, and hope you have watched that lady is talking about Kingston. Really, Kingston have been taken over by the Chinese, and those Chinese are not treating the Jamaicans well. When you go to a hotel, he or she will treat you with a hatred, and that's why most of those Jamaicans, they don't want these people, because when you serving the visitor, you must have the respect, but those Chinese are not respecting. And remember, Jamaica were colonized, and I know this may be the second colonization by the Chinese, and that's why the Jamaicans, they have come out, they want to reclaim their country from the hands of the Chinese. And another thing that is making Jamaicans to hate Chinese is about what the Prime Minister announced, because the Prime Minister came out and said that Chinese are not going to pay a tax for 5 years, and the reason was Jamaica owned a Chinese loan, and that loan, they wanted to recover through taxation. And remember, those loans must be paid through taxation. And how comes you allow a foreigner not to pay a tax for 5 years, and a local one is paying a tax? So this came out with a lot of feedback from Jamaicans. No, a local, a small trader who's selling an egg is just paying a tax and allowing big businesses, big investors not to pay a tax. This is not true. That's why I normally say that the Prime Minister of Jamaica is really failing the people of Jamaica, and that is the message that is now in people, that they don't want a Prime Minister to associate with Chinese. And another thing that is hating, that is making Jamaicans really to hate Chinese, I did hear it was Mr. She's called Miss Chin. Miss Chin came out and said that in case an Africa wants to go to Jamaica, he or she must have a visa. And remember, Caribbean countries and Africa are the brothers and sisters, because Jamaica is the child abroad of Africa, and the Jamaica and other Caribbean, they normally view Africa as the motherland of the black people, and that's why those two nations, they really love each other. And those Chinese lady came out and say, no, you must now starting getting a visa so that you travel to Jamaica. So this is some of things that is making Jamaica really to hate Chinese. And These people, they have come out, they have really overruled the Kingston. When you go to Kingston, those businesses are being owned by Chinese bar, and those Chinese are so racist, and that's why recently we saw Jamaicans really banned the hotel of a Chinese. It's all about the racist. Those people, they are really, really racist. And I normally say, calls out our leaders to stop being a pupil to this Chinese or any foreigners country, because remember, Chinese is giving you a loan, and when they give you a loan, maybe to build a road or a house, the contractor will be Chinese. So you find that those loans are being rotated by those Chinese are normally taking that money back to their country. And that's why the Africans, the Jamaicans, they may now come out and unite so that they really show us they really develop their own country. And I love some of the view leaders who normally they are fearless because they don't fear anything. They just tell the truth about the colonizers, because we were told that we are democracy, but democracy have been violated. We are not given the full democracy, and that's why we are still suffering as the African country. We are still being called a third world country. Thank you so much for watching me. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, because I don't want you to miss any update when I post in this channel. Bye for now. See you next.